right, welcome. This is actually the very first episode of the Krimson Saint podcast, and it's going to be a lot different from what we used to do when I was working with the guys from the Fat Boy Cartel. If you remember from, I believe it was episode 8, we had Bouncer on, and unfortunately a lot of that got cut up, so I don't even really consider that.
It did keep a lot of the cool stories, though.
It did. It did keep a lot of the cool stories. So this, in my opinion, is the official interview with my good friend that I've known for quite a while now. Yeah. And I really thank you and appreciate you taking the time out to do this.
Yeah, I'm all about it, man.
Because it's fucking damn near midnight now when we're starting to record. So
it's all right. Drinking some beers.
That's right.
Cutting some shit. You never know what's going to come out, man. That's the fun part. You never know.
Especially out of our mouths.
Yeah. Could be bad.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of swearing.
A lot of cussing. A lot of motherfucking.
A lot of fucking. I mean, well, not fucking, but a lot of the word fucking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Just, you didn't
okay, so, anyways.
Right.
All right, so let's just kind of, do the usual. Let's start at the beginning, and I know that's, but hey, let's go with part of the course. So, when did you officially start training to wrestle?
Oh, man. 1996, I was in high school still, and I found, let me date myself back a little further. 1993, I went to my first indie show with my Uncle Bob and my cousin Jason, who were friends with Preston Still's wife at the time. They got tickets for his shows. They asked me if I wanted to go, and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I want to go, right? So you go to these shows, man, and you're like literally this close to guys like Mr. Hughes and Barry Horowitz used to watch on TV.
Right.
It's like, whoa, complete difference from being at a WWE show when you try to touch someone and you get smacked by a cop. Like, don't do that. Okay. Yeah. Not trying to fuck around with Police Academy, okay? So you basically like, it's this whole nother world, man, that you're into now, and you see this, and it just made me want to do it even more.
Yeah.
So when his he had like programs at every show, and it had a thing for his school, and I'm like, dude, I gotta go. So I talked to my mom, talked to my dad about it, and went down and met him the next day. We had to sign papers. They had to sign for me because I was underage. And the first thing he said to me was, you can die doing this. I was like, give me them papers. I was ballsy, man. I was a young, dumb fucking kid, you know. And I started training the next day, and I walked in the first day, and I said, hit me with a chair. And he said, are you sure? I said, yeah, man, do it. He says, okay. He says, straighten your back up. I said, all right. And he hit me. And I told him, don't ever do that again. Because it fucking hurt, dude. Like, it fucking hurt. But, 96, man, I started training, and 16-year-old kid, 16-year-old punk. Not a smart ass, but like just a punk kid who didn't know any better,
Now, also, when you're saying you're referring to Preston, correct? Preston Steele? So that was your trainer, your wrestling father, so to speak, the one you go to for everything if you need to. And the funny thing is, so was that your first, when you were talking about going to that show, was that your first inkling that you wanted to do this, or was it before then?
Dude, I was 4 years old when I said I wanted to do this shit.
Really?
At a 4-year-old kid, everybody's going to tell you you're going to grow out of that.
Right.
You went through it for years, so as you get older, man, you still with that wrestling thing? Yeah. You're going to grow out of it. I did in 6th grade, we did a play. And the teacher said, okay, for this play, we want you to dress how you want to be when you grow up.
Right.
Well, I wanted to do the wrestling thing, right?
Right.
She was, no go. Can't let you do that. So there's me in 6th grade, walking on the stage, dressed like a fucking doctor, who didn't want to be a doctor, but that fit the plan of what they felt was acceptable for what you would want to do when you get out of school. Yeah. So there I was, a doctor in these fucking scrubs and shit, like. And
Dr. Giggles?
Well, there you go. If we're going to do it, we're going to make it fucking horror, right?
That's right.
There I was, my little Dr. Giggles self. And I wasn't happy, man. Like, I was on the stage, and you just knew I just wasn't happy about it, because it's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a fucking wrestler. I wanted to go out there dressed like a wrestler, and it was a big no for that. Yeah. But no, I was 4 years old, man. I said I wanted to do it, and, I got called down my junior year, and the guidance counselor said, what do you want to do when you get out of school? I said, I want to be a wrestler. He laughed in my face. I said, all right, cool, and he saw, like, after he got done laughing and he saw the look on my face, he saw I was serious. He said, you're serious about this? I said, yeah. He goes, what can I do to help you? I said, you just did. Thanks for that motivation. And I took that. I said, I gave you something to go and talk to with the other teachers at lunchtime and laugh about.
Right.
Well, I'm going to actually go and achieve my dream. So you keep laughing about it. And as soon as I got out of training, as soon as I started wrestling, because it was my senior year at the time, they all of a sudden, we want to come to one of your shows. I said, no, thank you. You didn't support me then. Don't do it now.
Yeah. Fuck you if you're watching.
No, and that's how it was, man. Like, I wasn't the popular kid in school, But as soon as I started wrestling, everybody wanted to be your friend all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you wrestle? Or, man, that wrestling's fake. I was putting chop marks on fucking football players' chest, and they hated me for it. But they said wrestling was fake. I was like, let me show you.
Right.
I chopped the dude so hard, knocked him out of his fucking desk. Teacher walked in, what the hell's going on in here? I was like, I don't know, his desk just fell. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, you know, like, hey, don't tell me wrestling's fake, dude. Because, again, you're a young, dumb fucking kid, and you're going through the training now, and you realize that, dude, you know, I'm not a bitch. Like, it toughens you up, man. Like I said, I was very low-key. I didn't bother anybody. But we were in drama class, and we were outside the drama class one day because the door was locked. And there we are in the hallway, man. One football player dude came up, and he started talking shit. And something just hit me. And I looked at the dude, and I was like, man, I'm going to give you two options. Either you get the fuck away from me, or I'm going to beat your fucking ass. And everybody said, ooh, you know, the school, ooh. I said, fuck your oohs. I was like, I'm just telling you flat out, get the fuck away from me. And everybody was just like, damn. And it hit me that day that, like, I get my ass beat for 4 hours a night for 4 days a week. I'm not a bitch.
Right.
I'm not going to be anybody's bitch. Like, you know, and then everybody started treating me differently. Mm-hmm. I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. I didn't need it. But it made me, like, feel better about myself, you know, because I wasn't that, like, laid back, timid little kid, you know? So.
Well, as long as I've known you, like, that's kind of the image that you've put off. You've always been cool as fuck, man, but you also have that don't fuck with me attitude. You know, don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you.
Right.
But at the same time, too, I'm not afraid to fuck with you if I need to.
Right. And that's the thing, dude. Like, I don't fight, man.
Right.
I think the last time I fought was my cousin Jason. We beat the shit out of each other in his front yard. My Aunt Renee came on and hollered at us. Like, she's like, the fuck are you guys doing? And we're just beating the shit out of each other.
Right.
All because he wanted to show off for his friends.
Yeah.
And it was what it was. We were fucking kids.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. Family fight.
That's right.
I mean, come on. Here's what it is.
Okay, so let's go a little further back. You've done explained that and whatnot.
It's really dating me here, right? Let's go a
Hey,
little further back.
don't worry,
So-
I'm not saying the years.
So back when you're wearing the barrel bottoms, you know, and you're out there dancing like boogie oogie oogie and shit. Yeah, you know, let's date you back a little bit, you know. How was it back in the 40s, you know?
Luthez, first autograph you got, right?
Right, there it is. Me and Killer Kowalski, we're tight. What can I say? You know? What the fuck, dude?
No, what I wanted to ask, when you're talking about a little 4-year-old bouncer running around, who or what was your first memory of wrestling?
Oh, man. For the Who, I could probably say Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Like, Hulk Hogan, I think, was every little kid's
Same
person
here.
they looked up to.
Yep.
Him, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, Roddy Piper. Like, those are your 4 guys, I think, that really every little kid was just like, whoa.
Okay.
You know, especially Warrior, because he had the face paint, he ran to the ring, shook the ropes, his music was hype, you know.
He was a legit real-life superhero.
Yeah, he was. But for me, it was Hogan. Like, Hogan was always the guy that
Yep.
I watched, the guy that got me into it. And I remember because I liked Sid, and when Sid came in and then Hogan turned on him, I turned on Hogan too. I was like, wait a minute, whoa. Like, wait a minute. And it was like, you really felt, dude, wrestling, I missed those emotions that you used to feel as a kid. You know, like, you really got into it.
And that's something we'll kind of talk about a little bit later on, but I'll just say that now. That's probably my biggest problem with wrestling right now. Because, last night, perfect example. I was trying to find something to watch as I went to bed. Mm-hmm. I am a big fan of the IC title, especially when you get back into the late 80s, early 90s. And you know what I found?
What'd you find? I
found SummerSlam 91. Okay. Can you guess the match?
Oh, boy. 91.
IC title defense.
Man, that's taking me. Wow.
That's
you might have to tell me, man, because and as soon as you say it, I'm going to say, God damn it. But
Mr. Perfect and Bret Hart.
There you go.
God, that match was fucking good.
Dude, Perfect to me is not... Well, he's somebody that I feel doesn't get talked about enough.
No, he doesn't.
Super underrated as a worker. Him and Ted DiBiase, to me, should have been WWE World Champions.
Absolutely.
Those two right there. Piper should have been a WWE World Champion. There's a lot of guys that I feel got slighted for that championship, but those 3, especially on a heel level, DiBiase and Perfect. Piper would have been a great face champion.
Yeah.
But those 2 as heels, man, there really weren't any better at the time.
I don't know which match I like better, whether it's their match from 91 SummerSlam or if it's their match from 93 King of the Ring. Because, God, those were both such good matches, man.
I'd probably go with the SummerSlam match, though, honestly.
Yeah?
Yeah, that to me. Yeah, as soon as you said it, I'm like, and it just clicked, man.
But those 2, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say Bret Hart is my all-time favorite because he's not. But, I mean, I love watching him, though. His work is so fucking good. And then Perfect is just probably... Ravishing Rick Rude's another one.
Yep.
He does not get the credit he deserves, and he should be It is what it is.
There were so many good guys back then that I feel like they didn't know what to do with it. Kind of like now.
Yeah.
You have so many good people on your roster. But more back then, you had, everybody was character based. Mm-hmm. Rick Rude was like a Chippendale, basically.
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect was the guy that everybody wanted to be, but they couldn't be. And May Dollar Man was the guy that had all the money.
Yeah.
And that everybody wanted. They were characters, man. Mm-hmm. And a lot of guys lack that today.
Yes, they do.
You know? Like, even when you went into, like, your Papa Shangos, and everybody had a gimmick. So you had a, let's see, you had a dumpster, or a garbage man, do the dumpster Josie. You had a half man tar. Like, you had all these weird fucking gimmicks, but it worked. Mm-hmm. Whereas now, everybody's just their real name.
Yeah.
There's no gimmick. The gear's super plain. I'm not knocking the people, because some of them are great fucking workers, but there's no gimmick behind them, and that's why the fans don't get behind them.
It's that same look. It's like big beard,
yep.
long hair,
yep.
Tattoos, and usually some type of dark black kind of gear. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's nothing there. It's all cookie cutter, and that's the thing too. No one has. You don't protect the finish like you used to. Mm-mm. Super kick now, for example.
Everybody does it. Everybody kicks out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I remember Taker. I was listening to Bubba Ray. Bubba Ray Dudley, Bully Ray, whatever you folks might know him as or whatnot. But I was listening. He was on Busted Open, one of the shows that he does. And he was talking about how him, Devon, and Taker were backstage. And they had a little thing that they were going to do later on that night. And they were going to give Taker 3D. Nice. And they asked Taker, you can kick out. You want to kick out? No one, because no one has ever kicked out of 3D, and no one has kicked out up to that point either. And Taker's like, no, man, you guys have worked hard to protect that move and establish that move. Even him, Taker, who probably could and should kick out,
right? He
didn't.
One of the few people that probably could kick out of that. Yeah, and it would be believable.
Yeah,
it wouldn't hurt them going into the next match or matches later on. But the thing about Taker though is he's super old school.
He is.
For 30 years, that man lived the gimmick. He didn't go out in public and hang out as Mark Calloway. He went out as The Undertaker.
Yep.
And now, just in the past, year, he's opened up and shown Mark Calloway to people.
Right.
And it's weird to see, but it's also nice to see at the same time.
It is.
Because you see the human behind the gimmick now.
Right.
The real person that he is. So it's actually really cool to see. But it's still kind of odd, though, man. I mean, you saw that guy had nothing but gimmick for years.
Scared the shit out of everybody when he debuted.
Yeah. 1990, man.
Survivor Series.
Yes, sir. Part of Teddy DiBiase's team, yes.
Fucking wiped out everybody.
Sure, the whole damn team. The whole damn team, dude.
And you never seen anything like that up to that. I mean, and you really haven't seen anything like that since, other than outside of Kane and then, Bray Wyatt a little bit as the Fiend.
I mean, he took out some big names, too. He took out guys like Coco Beware, Dusty Rhodes, Bret Hart. I mean, he took out big name people, man. On a debut like that, boom, that's how the man made it. And he didn't lose for how long after that? I mean, think about that. He went on to win the title and stuff and everything. I mean, like, it was a big debut for a gimmick that some people probably thought would even last.
And he was smart by keeping things fresh. Every time he changed up, other than the American Badass version, he only tweaked it just a little bit.
Yep.
And and
the gear changed from gray to purple.
Yeah.
And then the makeup went a little bit more purple in the eyes and stuff. Like, it was just these little changes. And then, like you said, American Badass. Okay, now he's a biker, ride a bike.
Right.
But it still worked though. He was still the Undertaker.
Right.
People were still like, I ain't fucking with this dude. Like, we get it.
Do you know why he changed to American Badass? I heard a rumor, and I don't know. It's a rumor. Supposedly, someone said that he wanted to go to WCW, and Vince was going to allow him to make that change as long as he didn't want to be, wouldn't take the Undertaker part. Yeah. Which I don't know though. From everything I've ever heard too, though, he was the one guy that would never.
Real. Yeah. Even Shawn Michaels thought about going to WCW when all his friends went. Obviously, Diesel, Razor Ramon, shit.
1, 2, 3 Kid.
Right? Yeah. All his friends went, man, and he was like, well, shit. Maybe I'm going to go too.
Right.
But Taker was that one guy that was super loyal to Vince McMahon always.
Yeah. So
I'll be honest with you. Had he went to WCW, I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have had the career that he would have had if he, obviously, that he had now. Okay. I don't think it would have worked.
So do you think Bischoff would have? Do you think he would have went with that American Badass gimmick, or do you think he would have tried to come up with another Undertaker-esque gimmick?
Honest opinion, I think he would have saw how much the Taker gimmick got over, and I think that just like they did with Dustin Rhodes with that creepy ass 7 gimmick, and it was terrible, which basically was an Undertaker type gimmick.
It was.
The man floated to the ring. He literally floated to the ring with smoke, and then cut a complete promo and just killed the whole gimmick. Like it was like, wait, you guys spent probably thousands of dollars on that entrance, right? The man shit on it and the entire promotion within like 5 minutes, and we're all just sitting there like, fuck. Damn. So maybe Taker would have done the same thing. Maybe he would have floated to the ring with him. I don't know. And he would have been like, this is bullshit, boy. You know, like, he'd have been mad as hell, too. I don't think he'd have shot on WWE and Vince McMahon, but he might have shot on anything else. I don't know. It's hard to say, man, because Bischoff was gimmicky, too. You know, he knew what gimmicks work. So when he was bringing over guys like Razor Ramon and Kevin Nash, you knew you couldn't call them Diesel and Razor Ramon anymore, so they were just, hey, let's be ourselves. Let's be Scott Hall and Kevin Nash.
Right.
You couldn't bring in the 1, 2, 3 Kid. You couldn't bring in X-Pac, so you brought in 6. You kept it relatively close to what they were doing in WWE because you knew it made money already.
I mean, even Razor or Scott Hall kept the accent, the Puerto Rican accent.
Yeah,
so, he was very smart about it.
They kept shit that they knew was going to still be marketable and was going to help them still make money, even though they took the person.
Right.
In some ways, they took the gimmick, too. They took everybody from WWE. Made Hacksaw Jim Duggan. They took Virgil. Why? I don't know why the fuck they took Virgil. Really, that's the only person you could have fucking left there. They brought in Teddy DiBiase. Like, they brought in anybody and everybody that they could from WWE at the time. And fucking Lex Luger made the jump from WWE to WCW without any notice. He just showed up on Nitro, and it was like, whoa.
Then fucking Dusa fucking showing up with the title, dropping it in the trash can.
Any way they could shit on WWE, they did it.
Fucking all spoiling the fucking match results until they fucked up the one night with Foley.
Yep. Oh, that'll put asses in seats, and it did because then the ratings went, and then they stayed that way.
Yeah.
So you fucked yourself.
Yeah.
But you know what? You live and learn, man. Like, and that's the thing, dude. That's like people, and you know, we'll probably get into that later when we start talking more about indie wrestling and stuff. Because I can go on.
We will. Yeah, don't worry. There's no format. Fuck the format. We're just
we go into tangents. We're gonna go from wrestling to probably horror movies to.
Because I'm actually gonna segue here in a second to horror.
And see, that's what we do. We tangent and we segue.
That's right.
Into another tangent. That's how we roll, man.
So we're talking about Taker, but now I'm going to kind of go into Kane a little bit. And I'm, all right, fuck it. I don't care what anyone says. I don't like AEW. I'm a big Jim Cornette guy. Really am. And
he does not like anything.
No, he does. And at least I give him respect for that. He'll fucking shit on. Yeah.
He's up front.
But there's the video out of him showing, I guess Cornette's a big Myers mark. He loves Michael Myers. That's...
Oh, no.
He taught Kane how to do the Michael Myers sit-up. Okay. And I believe he may have had influence on Taker doing the Michael Myers sit-up.
You know, it's funny that you said that because I was watching Kane on the Most Wanted Treasures, that WWE show.
Yeah.
And he told the one dude that he got the head tilt from his dog.
Oh, yeah?
And I was like, that's Michael Myers all the way.
Yeah.
But you know what? We'll give it to you. I still have, I think, or I might have got rid of it, I don't know, but I had a magazine, WWE magazine, that compared Kane to Michael Myers. Mm-hmm. And there was, do you remember that one?
Yeah.
And they had like the pictures of Michael Myers, like they had almost like a, like to tell the tape between the two of them. I was like, dude, that was cool as shit.
Well, Corny wanted him to debut. He wanted to do vignettes. And if you don't know what a vignette is, that's kind of like the packages they put together and play on TV before the wrestler debuts. Mm-hmm. But he wanted to do the Michael Myers type of thing where you just, the camera's over his shoulder, you don't really see the face.
So you know, like point of view of Kane.
Right, and you hear the heavy breathing. He wanted to copy Michael Myers to a fucking key. Yeah, just watching Taker and shit, man.
Now, I kind of wish that they would... See, there's some things, like, even with movies, like how movies will do different scenes and stuff that we don't get to see and stuff.
Right.
I would love to see some wrestling shit like that. Because, I mean, we've seen... Throughout the years, we've seen some stuff that we shouldn't have seen, like concepts of like, characters and stuff.
Curtain call?
Yeah. Yeah, but like they had even a concept of the stuff for FTR that Vince wanted them to do.
Oh, the fucking like
it was terrible outfits, dude.
God, it was bad.
They looked like a cross between a leprechaun and went to Mardi Gras, and it was like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, right? But we've seen those, like we've been able to like kind of pull the curtain aside and see stuff that like people were supposed to do, and some of them were god awful. But I'd love to see them though. Yeah. Like I'd love to see some of that shit.
I agree. That's some of the stuff that I look for and I love the most when I'm watching. Well, not the network anymore; it's the cock.
Sometimes runs like the cock, dude.
It does. God, it's fucking bad.
You can't find shit on there anymore?
No, I couldn't. It took fucking forever to find the match that I wanted to watch last night. But anyway,
I was watching top 50 tag teams.
Yeah,
I was very upset that Demolition did not at least crack the top 5. I feel like those guys get... I don't know, man. I understand that everybody says they're a rip-off LOD. At the same time, I feel like Demolition kind of came into their own, and they were just their own thing, man. Like, I don't know. I feel like they should have been in the top 5.
Here we go again. And actually, long drive up here. Anybody that doesn't know, we're in Youngstown, where John lives, where I used to live. I live in southern Indiana, so it was like a fucking 7-hour drive today. But I was listening to one of Cornette's podcasts, of course, and he was talking about, someone asked a question about what he thought of Demolition and how it was a ripoff of LOD or whatever. And I guess it legitimately was. When Vince couldn't get LOD, he made Demolition.
Right.
And after thinking about it, Bill Eadie, do you think he belongs? I mean, he looks, when you just kind of think about Bill Eadie and who he was before that and whatnot, it's like getting your old neighbor, like, here, Bill, put on this makeup and get out.
I don't know, dude. To me, he was like the staple of the team.
Okay.
Because originally it was him and one of the Moondogs. I can't remember which one it was. And they didn't like the way he looked in the paint and how he worked with Axe, so they brought in Smash instead.
Okay.
Axe and Smash, obviously the original Demolition. When they brought in Crush, that's when it went downhill for me. I feel like it just wasn't needed. And I know it was the way to break off. I guess Axe was, nearing the end of his career and stuff, as far as with WWE and stuff. So I get that. I got to work with him.
Yeah.
And dude was one of the nicest people to just sit and, like, they always say that the term sitting under the learning tree and just sit and listen to this dude just talk was like, I had more fun doing that than it was even getting ready for the match. Like, I just listening to the guy talk and tell his stories and shit. But yeah, I feel like he fit in. To me, he was the staple of the team.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
He especially now after so many things that I've watched.
Was it the glitter?
He just reminds me of someone's grandpa. It's like, nice old grandpa watching the news or some shit, and then it's like, hey, you got 15 minutes to kill. I want to put you in this fucking gimp outfit and...
Yeah, it was very People Under the Stairs-ish, man. Like, before People Under the Stairs was People Under the Stairs, just saying.
Great fucking movie, by the way.
Yes, it is.
So, okay, we'll finish up a little more wrestling, and then we'll go and get into some horror. So, okay, you have graduated wrestling school,
yes.
Mr. Preston Steele's IWA, right?
Yes, sir.
Wrestling Academy.
Yes.
And what was your very first... I don't even want to know your very first match. What was your very first professional interaction?
My very first professional interaction was in September of 96.
Okay.
I'm thinking December was match-wise. September of 96, we were supposed to do a run-in. And a run-in is basically two guys going out and screwing over the other guy in a match. And something fell through. I don't know what it was, but we were about to go out, and Preston was like, wait. And we're like, oh, okay. So we didn't go anywhere. We're just kind of standing there like, well, shit. Well, there goes my debut, right?
Right.
So Lord Zoltan, who is a staple of Pennsylvania and Ohio wrestling on the indies, guy's been around for years, was wrestling Greg the Hammer Valentine. And Preston comes up to me and another guy named Outlaw Jake Lawrence, and he goes, you guys are going to go in and run in on this match. And I was like, say what? Okay. So my debut, I'm running in on Greg the Hammer Valentine, a guy I watched on TV for years.
Absolutely.
Right? So Greg slaps old Zoltan in the figure 4, and that's our cue. We come charging the ring. We start putting the boots to both guys. It's supposed to be a double DQ. So, we're happy. We turn around. We start jeering to the crowd and stuff. And all of a sudden, I turn around, and Greg takes this big-ass hammer of a fucking hand and clocks me in the fucking face, dude, and shit cans me out of the ring. And I swear to you, I saw cartoon birds. I was like, holy shit, just chirp, 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 chirping, right? And little kids kicking me in the ass, get back in the ring, and I'm like, fuck you, So I walk in the back afterwards, and I'm telling you, like, Greg's standing in front of me, he says, hey, how was that, brother? And I saw about 4 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know which one was really him, but I should put my hand out and said, oh, it was great. Like, dude, it was one of the coolest experiences ever. Like,
absolutely.
First time on a show, you get punched by Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yeah.
What the fuck more could you ask for? You're sharing a locker room with Superfly Jimmy Snuka. And you're like, what in the fuck, dude?
It's amazing.
That's one thing about Preston. He brought in guys like the Bushwhackers and Jimmy Snuka and Greg Valentine, Tatanka, unfortunately Virgil, the Honky Tonk Man, Typhoon, Sal Sincere, guys like that, Debbie Combs, Sherry Martel. It was a lot of old school, luscious Johnny Valent. Like, these are all people I got a chance to see and work with in locker rooms. And it was like, my mind was completely blown. You know what I mean? Like, not every indie show you go to, you're going to work with a name, and you don't have to. But to walk into your first one with Greg Valentine and Jimmy Snuka, you're like, whoa. Yeah. You know, like, this is something, man, you know?
Well, see, you're like the last of a dying breed. Sorry, Eddie Kingston. Not trying to take anything.
I did team with him once, though.
Yes, you did. I remember that show.
Years ago, yes, I did.
CWA.
Was it? CWE.
Yeah. CWE. Yeah. Sorry, CWA. Oh, man.
That was a clusterfuck.
Okay. Yeah. But, no, you came up at a time where I think you were in the middle of this newer generation and that old school generation, and a perfect opportunity for you to sit there and, like you said, not only watch these guys who are the people that you grew up watching, but you're learning from them too, like you said earlier, on a learning tree.
Well, you know, Preston was very old school based too, so like I did a lot of tag matches.
Right.
A lot of our tag finishes were the same. So, and I love them to death, but a lot of the tag finishes was a double clothesline, and then the guy would cover me. And then my partner would come in and try to make the save, and the guy would move, and he'd elbow me, and then he'd pin both of us.
Right.
Or there was a sunset flip, small package combo. And those were the several fucking times I lost to those same moves. Or, you know, guys were winning with suplexes and stuff. It was very 70s style. But this was 96, 97, 98. You're getting into the NWO time, and people are cheering. You're cheering for the heels and stuff, and people are doing crazy ass moves, and guys are kicking out on one. And I started to adapt and change my style because I knew that's what the fans wanted to see.
Right.
More newer shit. So, dude, I popped off with an X Factor in a match, and the crowd went nuts. And I'm like, huh. So they want to see newer shit, as opposed to if I do this suplex, they don't give two fucks. But if I hit you with this X Factor real quick, oh, all right, they're popping for this shit.
Right.
So you have to change and adapt. And I was one of those few of his students that actually did that because I fed off of what the crowd wanted.
Right.
And I didn't go against like Preston saying, hey, you have to lose to this sunset flip. I don't give a shit about that.
Right.
I just wanted to be in the ring, man. I didn't care about winning and losing. Yes, I was still a young, dumb kid. Yes, I probably spoke up sometimes when I shouldn't have. Not to Preston, though, because I had a lot of respect for him. But as years went by, I spoke up on some shows I probably shouldn't have, you know, and not because I was a dick. I just didn't like the way that things were going down. I now have seniority to do that, and I fully use it when I have to. Let me tell you, like, you know, just sometimes you gotta let people know, dude.
Okay. Well, talking about sunset flips and X Factors and suplexes, what was your first finish?
Oh, God. My first finish was, and this is how, let me date myself again, was an enziguri called The Last Call.
Nice.
I was in training one day, and we were learning enziguris, and, you know, the guy put my foot way up here on his chest. And I took about 2 hops and square up, popped him right in the back of the head, and Preston goes, fuck it, you're using it. I said, okay. And that's what it was. Then I moved into Happy Hour, which was the fireman's carry to the Sadat Michinoku, which was more modern for the times.
Right.
You know, and now I actually do the Claymore, which I was doing before Drew McIntyre. And,
sorry, kids.
You know, for some reason it got called the Sugarfoot. I don't have the diabetes or anything, but I'm just saying for some reason.
I do.
Well, nothing against you, man. There actually is a story as to why I got called that. I'm not going to share it, though, because the person's passed away. But we talk about that after.
That's fine.
Off
That's
camera.
fine. Yeah.
But, yeah, we call it the Sugarfoot. I don't really know why, other than that story. But, yeah. And I don't know, man. I think it's time for a change, though. I think I might switch it up again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's...
Okay.
It's one of those things where not everybody takes it right. Listen, here's all I've asked of a person. Give me enough space, and for you enough space to take a bump. So give me some running space to kick you, and you take a bump. Dudes will somehow be in your face, or they don't turn around quick enough, or it's like you're standing there looking like an idiot. So it might be time to switch things up a little bit.
And you want to be able to have something that you can do with anybody. Big, small, in between, whatever. So.
And the kick works for a bigger guy, smaller guy.
Yes, it does.
Have you. But man,
if you don't take it right,
it's hard sometimes, dude. Just all I need is the side of your chest right there.
Yeah.
Dudes will come on you face on. I was like, "You sure you want to take that? Because I'll kick you in the face, dude. I've done it. Like, it's not that I'm being a dick, but here's the thing. We did a show one time years ago, and I did the kick where the guy was on his knees. Yeah. So the super kick on the guy on his knees. So I had him down on his knees. I gave the dude ample time. If you find this footage, it's on YouTube. Gave him ample time. He never covered his face, so I kicked him. Match goes down. I'm pissed because I didn't like the way the match went, so I took a little breather outside. I go to walk back in the locker room, and a promoter came up to me. He goes, "What the fuck was that?" And I was like, "Your boy fucking sucks." And he's like, "No, you kicked him in the fucking face. He's back here crying." I'm like, "Well, that's his own goddamn fault," you know. So dude sends his boy up to me like the fucking Godfather after the show, and he says, "Jay wants to speak with you." And I was like, "Well, tell that motherfucker to come over here then." So I'm not going to him, like, you know. So here he comes, dude.
Right.
And he's got the Mikhail Gorbachev fucking grape stain looking like bruise.
Oh God!
And it goes from here all the way to his lip, right? Like my whole boot, dude. It was like, and I'm like trying not to laugh in his face. I'm like, God damn. He goes, I feel like you disrespected me. And I was like, really? I said, let me ask you a question. I said, when someone super kicks you, what do you do? And he stood there and he looked at me. And I said, go ahead, I'll wait. And as he's thinking way too hard, and I was like, well, we put our hand up, don't we? We catch the foot just in case. Yeah. Well, then you have nothing to gripe about, right? And I didn't respect you, right? No, we're cool, man. Okay, cool. And then years later, the promoter watched the footage and he goes, oh, you're an apology, dude. You really did give him a lot of time. I was like, I tried to tell you. I didn't just kick the dude just to kick the dude. You know, like, it happened.
So, little cat out of the bag here or whatnot. I don't know if any of you guys out there in TV land know, but I had a very, very short-lived wrestling career myself. About 100 matches. I wrote them all down.
He did. I taught him that too. Keep a book of your matches, where they were at. Wins or losses really don't matter, but I always mark mine down. You know, who you worked and stuff like that, what promotion it was for, and the date. And yeah,
that's exactly what I've done
since day one, man.
Which I would love to just look through one of your books one day.
I have one. It's a big ass binder now, and it's just all matches I've had, titles I've held, people I've worked with, names I've been on shows with. It's everything. Yeah, it's everything in there.
So there's we're getting ready for a show. We're inside his house in the kitchen. We're just kind of talking and whatnot because he and I are working that night, and he just talked about his fireman's carry Michinoku driver last call, and he's like, I think we could do that. I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't jump very well. I'm fat, very fat. So
this dude
my buddy
always sold himself short. Sold himself short.
It was right because we're in the kitchen, we're practicing.
But here's what happened, though. See, this guy here, when he was training in a very stiff ring. So stiff meaning you go bump on the concrete, and that's basically what you're bumping in. And I always told him it's mind over matter because I had a hard time with bumps too.
Right.
Like I told you that. Dude, I was the bigger guy. I was having a hard time with bumps. There was days when I would bump and I'd be fine. There was days when I'd bump and I'd bash my fucking head and it hurt like shit. But then I started working on it on my own. But then I said to you, I said, I want to get you in a ring where it's got some give to it.
Yeah.
So we went to one of the CW shows. And I talked to the dudes that run the place. I said, hey, man, can I get my dude in here and let him take a bump? And I said, yeah, that's cool. And I said, hey, man, do exactly what we've been doing. He gets in there, takes the bump, and he hits perfect. I said, see, I told you there's a huge difference between taking... It's mind over matter. If something hurts, you don't want to continue to do it.
Right.
But if something feels right to you, it's like, oh, goddamn, dude, this is all right. This isn't so bad. So he always would sell himself short. But when we had this match...
Well, where I was going with that, though, is actually kind of what you were talking about with your super kick and that gentleman not putting his hand up.
Man.
I like to actually take the super kick without putting my hand up. Every super kick he's thrown at me, I've never put up, and I've always been fine. Right. It's a lot of it's like a dance too. It's like trusting the person you're with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know what he can do, what he's capable of. He's fucking magnificent. So I never put my foot up, took him like a fucking champ. I ain't got hops. Not only am I white, but I'm just fat. So I could not fucking jump for the move, and that's when we decided to go with the super kick. And you know what? I'm glad we did because I like taking it.
But here's the funny story about that match, though, right? So we're about 10 minutes deep into this match, right? And here he comes. He's got me in the corner now. And he comes charging in with a big splash. So he hits me, boom, and he says, "Man, I ain't got nothing left." I said, "You better, motherfucker. We're almost home." Dude, we finished the match. He was fine. But again, he sold himself short.
Yeah.
And, dude, we had fun, man.
We did.
We went places. You managed us and shit. You managed other people. You managed Steve a couple times when we did.
And then me and Steve had a really good run as a team.
Yes, you did. You worked us, or was it me and Bill? I was Super Horny and he was Rock Lobster, and you worked us at one of the opening mega shows. Yeah, we put you guys over for that.
You did. You did. That was amazing. But yes, we had a great time working with Steve and working with Steve and working against you guys. Yeah. And
Steve was one of them dudes. He had a really good head for the business.
He did. Absolutely, he did.
His unfortunately his illness kind of took him away from it.
Right.
Way before he should have been taken away from it. But he had a really good fucking head for it.
Yeah.
So like when he talked to you in the back and stuff, and like he helped you with a promo and stuff, he was a good person to listen to because he was telling you the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, there were guys that we had the ability to take these guys on every Tuesday night and not only get them in the ring, but help them cut promos. Like we had a guy, and I'm not going to name names, we had a guy that was sitting there and he would laugh during every promo. It's like he would start cutting a promo and be like, yeah, so next Tuesday. And I don't know who the fuck he was laughing at or what the fuck he was laughing about. And I'm like, dude, no, you can't do that.
Right.
If you're maybe sinister a little bit and you're thinking, yeah, man, so next week, yeah, and then when you think about something, you start laughing. That's different. But this dude, opening thing, next Tuesday, we're over here, buddy. Like,
right.
What's going on, right? And I would always tell him, so every Tuesday I'd make him cut a promo.
Yeah.
And he got better and better with it.
Yeah.
And that's just how you learn, man. It's not getting in someone's ass and being a dick about it or giving up on a person when they fuck up. It's constantly pushing that person and telling them, okay, that was good, but here's what you could do better with it. And I've tried to pass that knowledge on. I really, really, really try sometimes. But some of these dudes today, they know everything.
Yeah, they do.
And they don't give a shit what you have to say. There's guys that are being trained by certain people that aren't, they shouldn't be training people. Let's just be honest. And I see some of these poor boo-boos come in and you try so hard. I tried helping this kid cut a promo one time. And I said, all right, just cut the promo without me saying anything to you. This kid ran down the town, the time, the building, and everything else, but didn't talk shit about the wrestling match. And I'm like, bro, who tells you to do that? Well, that's what he said. He wants us to put over the building, the time the show starts, where it's at, where it's this and that. And I'm like, but what about your match, though? So you've already talked 5 minutes about a building that nobody gives a fuck about, or the time that the show starts. That's what the fuck flyers are for, dude.
Yeah.
That's what a Facebook post is for. You said nothing about your match, who you are, who you're working, what your goal is, nothing. Oh, did you not get that? Like, I'm trying to help you here. Who are you? What's your gimmick? Who are you? Tell me who you are.
Not only that, why don't you start the fucking promo out that way? Just like, all right, this Friday night, Highland Center, 5 o'clock. And then just, there you go. You got the place, the time, this date.
But these
and then
dudes would go into, so this Saturday at 7:30 sharp, it'll be at the Highland Center at the biggest building ever. I mean,
around the corner from the shop and the KFC's.
You have to park in the back and tickets are just $10. And, oh, that's my promo time. We'll see you at the show. Like, there was nothing about the match. Nothing, dude. Not a fucking thing.
Right.
I get that you want to put over, but dude, when every single person that cuts a promo that's on that show is telling you the same exact thing, who's going to watch the first 2 minutes of that promo? Because they've heard it all already. I want to know who you are, who you're working, and what your plan is. That's it. If you're a champion, put yourself over. Put over your opponent. Don't shit on you, because a lot of guys don't know that either. They can go out there and shit on your opponent in a promo, and then no one gives a fuck about that person anymore.
Well, and if you bury him, though, okay, so you beat him, you beat a nobody. But if he beat you, a nobody beat you.
Exactly.
So you can go out there, and there's an art to the fucking promo. Especially, it's just, people lose track of that. It's just like when in a match where you want to get your shit in, you want to put yourself over in the promo, too. No, it's not fucking...
Dude, my biggest thing is when I work somebody, I don't care what level they're on. If you've been in the business forever, if you've been in the business for 5 seconds.
Right.
I come to you and I say to you this. What do you do? Give me a couple of the moves that you do.
Yeah.
I've had guys look at me dead in my face and go, I don't know. It's your moves, bro. I don't know you. I don't know you. I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
So I had one guy tell me, I do a big flying shoulder tackle. That's it. That's my move, man. I said, okay, cool. So you hit me with that big flying shoulder tackle, and then we'll just fucking wing it from there. I made the match work. I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm just saying, a lot of guys don't understand that when I say, look, tell me what you do. We want to incorporate everything together. I don't give a fuck about, I don't need to get this move, that move, this move. I don't care about that, dude. Yeah. I'm at a stage where I've been working for almost 25 years. I did a match not too long ago where they said, well, we're going to make you one of the very last guys in this Survivor Series type match, and you'll be against 3 other people. I said, I don't want to be. Why? For what? Well, why not? Because I don't need to be, dude. Right. I'm not Superman. I don't need to be Superman.
Let somebody else,
let somebody else do that, dude. I'm fine with being out there. That's cool. You want me to be one of the last couple guys? That's fine. But I don't need to be one guy against 3 other people. And then I'm going over, too. It's like, why?
Well, and that's the thing, too. I mean, I think you'll be the first one to admit this, too. I mean, you're just about, 25 years in the business?
Yeah, September,
Yeah. You have done just about anything and everything, especially when it comes to tag team wrestling with you and Kurt, Clip Extreme. God damn that beer, excuse me.
Right? It hits you, don't it?
It does. Many singles titles, many heavyweight titles. Hell, you're even running your own promotion. So yes, at this point in your career, it is time to kind of step back and give back and whatnot. But also, too, at the same time, give back to the folks that deserve it and want to learn. Because there are some cats out there that just... But,
Dude, I tell you what, it warms your heart to see somebody that really wants to learn.
Yes.
I jumped in the ring with a couple kids a few months back, and Kurt was laughing. I watched these guys working out a little bit, and I can see that they were wrong. So I said, let me get in there and help this poor kid before he fucks himself up. Right. So the kid was running the ropes, and I told him, I said, dude, it's two big steps. You want to grab, hook, and go. You know, and I show him this, and he goes, no one's ever showed me the grab, hook, and go thing. I said, well, that will save your life, because if this rope snaps and you run the way you were running, your neck is done, dude.
Yeah. And
the other guy, who still needs training, overtalked me the whole time, and I was like, okay. So they were doing something, and I finally gave up, and I just went, shit! And Kurt just started fucking laughing. He's like, dude, I almost died. He's like, you got so pissed. I was like, because I tried so hard, man. And the dude just wanted to overtalk me. So I politely told the dude that was in charge of training, I said, get your boy, because he needs to learn too. Like, I'm just trying to help these guys, man. Don't overtalk me. Well, this is how I do it. Right, but who taught you? And you still need training. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You're not even doing it right, so you shouldn't be training someone else how to do it. That's the problem. It's a problem that I have, you know? Like, I'm a super nice, laid-back person. I don't profess to be the greatest wrestler of all time. I'm not going to tell you that I am.
Right.
But I know things. And if I see you fucking up, I want to see you not fuck yourself up and do better. You know, and that's my goal, man. I don't want to see anybody getting hurt, dude. It sucks. Yeah. I've been there a couple of times. Nothing, I'll knock on some wood here. It hasn't been too bad. But, you know, I've been hurt. Yeah. And it sucks, dude.
I remember the night you fucked your ankle up at RAPW.
One of the easiest things, too.
Yeah.
Here, all I did was go to charge into the corner, and the guy moved, and I hit the buckle, and for some reason my ankle just went the way it wasn't supposed to. And all of a sudden, I felt a burning sensation.
I remember that.
I didn't even really care so much about that. I was more pissed that I couldn't finish the match.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't walk. Like, I couldn't put any kind of weight on this leg.
Yeah.
And I was so pissed. And everybody came out to maybe take the boot off. My ankle was like, pfft. And I'm like, well, fuck. You know, and that was the biggest thing. Like, I was so pissed that I couldn't continue.
Yeah.
I was more pissed about that than anything. Man.
So we'll kind of leave off right here, and we're going to venture into horror land.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's always a good time.
It's a good time.
Yes, sir.
So, try not to date you again.
Well, we might want to take a quick break, though, because I'm sure... How are we
or, you know what? Time? Yeah, we are... hold on.
The time is gone.
The timer fucking... Ooh, we are at 30 minutes.
Wow. So we gave you guys 30 minutes already. But we're going to give you probably another 30 on top of another 30 on top of another 30.
It's quite possible. Back. I mean...
So we're jumping into horror, right?
Horror.
That's at least going to be like 40, 50 minutes, so...
At least.
Yeah.
And then we still got 80s comedies and...
We'll be here for a while. We'll be back.